Welcome back to Dubsy Bricks for another episode of Building Gotham City in Lego. Last week we did a bit of work on the bridge at the back there, and what I need to do now is build a train, design it and work out how tall it's going to be. That way I know how high I need to make everything going across here, and then I can start doing more work on the train station itself. I've never built a Lego train before, so I'm going to get the train set out that I bought last year, build the trains up for that, just give me an idea of how you go about building a train, and then we'll start work on our own custom train. This is the set that I purchased last year, set number 60198. And I went for this set as opposed to a passenger set, as I wasn't that keen on any of the passenger trains. I didn't think the bricks that you got with it were going to be of any use to me within Gotham City. Whereas this one, I thought the bank truck at the bottom would be good, the forklift would be good for the docks area, there's all of the crane pieces as well. But the actual train elements themselves, I thought they were the bits I was mainly after within the set. Now, the one disadvantage I've got here is there are no passenger carriages that I can get any ideas out of. However, I have obviously got the main engine there. The train I'm going to be basing off of is a New York subway train. That's the sort of thing that I want to be building, and I'm going to have it so that there are 3 carriages per train line. What I need to do is work out how all of this works inside with the motor and everything, and then integrate that into a passenger car. So let's get the main engine out, let's get that built up and see what's involved. And there is the train engine all built up and on the railway track. And as you can see, the building I've built here so far is about the right height. And also the support beam there, I'll be having a load of those along this front edge. And again, it looks like it's spot on height wise. So now that I know that this is the right size, what I need to do now is design my own custom train engines and carriages to the same size. Here is the start of the prototype for our carriage here, and I'm going to be using the 28 stud long bases. I think that's probably going to be the best part to use for these. Now, where I've put these 2 windows just here, they're actually going to be the doors, so they're going to be sitting back by half a stud. So they're going to be resting on some jumper plates at the bottom here. The carriage, I'm going to make it 8 studs wide. I think that's going to be probably the best way to make it look that little bit better. And I'm going to have some curved tiles on the roof section. Again, trying to make it look as much like a New York train as possible. Now, with the battery pack, it's going to be very hard to hide it when I'm having windows all the way along here. What I could do is put the darker glass pieces in the back here. I think they're trans brown pieces. Then that's going to help hide it. And what I might do is put a dark bluish grey brick wall behind this section just here to hide that white stripe on the battery. I think it will show less by doing it that way. Down this end I'll be able to have minifigures, and what I'll do is I'll put some tiles all the way along the top here so the roof section is removable. So if I want to move minifigures about on there, then I can do so, as the door sections on here, they're not actually going to be functioning doors. What I need to do now is just work out how I want the side of the train to actually look. And here is the first attempt at the carriage side. Use the modified bricks and the modified plates here just to give it a few added details, and I've used the 2 tall bricks on the side here so there's no line in the middle of the door. I think it gives it a better, cleaner look. Now I need to put a plate in on this part here, but one thing I'm not happy with is this front section here, it being at the right angle. So what I might try and do is use some snot bricks on the edge there, and then use some of the cheese wedge pieces. So I'm just going to have a little bit of a play with that section and see what we can come up with. And here it is, the Gotham train. I was wondering whether I'd made it a little bit too wide on the 8 studs, and I was considering going down to having it as 6 studs wide. However, I do like the way that it overhangs on the wheels here a little bit. I think that's more how the New York subway trains look, for example. The other problem I'd have had if I had shrunk it to 6 studs is that the battery pack would not have fitted in there due to how I've done the style of the doors here on the jumper plates. The gap between wouldn't have been big enough. So I'm going to leave the train as it is for the time being, and once the city's all finished and it's running around, if it doesn't look right, then I will revisit it further down the line. Do still need to find a curved slope to go on the end there. I'm just one of those short, but all in all, really happy with this first attempt at making a Lego train. So let's pop it on the track and see how it looks. And here is the first Gotham train on the train line. Really pleased with how it has come out. Now the side of the train will look different once it's all finished. I have ordered in replacement window frames for the windows, and they're going to be light bluish grey for the actual windows themselves, and the actual door window frames, they're going to be in sand blue, as I couldn't find any of the light bluish grey ones in the size I needed on the website. However, I do think it's going to look better that way. It's going to add a little bit more contrast to the side of the train. And I may even add another colour in there at some stage if I can find something that looks right. Now, originally I was going to have 3 carriages per train line. However, I've decided that it will be better just to have 2. And the reason for this is how long a platform I'm going to need for each of the trains. Now, over the far side here, there's going to be a platform along here outside the Flatiron building. And there's going to be another building behind the Flatiron building, which is also going to have a train station or a platform. And again, that's going to be about the right size for 2 carriages as opposed to 3. So I think going down to 2 train carriages is definitely the way forward. Now, I'm really pleased that I have made this train at this stage, as it's highlighted a few problems with how I'm doing the train station and the platforms. First of all, the platform there is about 2 bricks too low. So I need to raise that up. And I would have had the same problem on the train station. Had I built the train station, I would have done the platform exactly the same height. So if I built the train station first of all, then built the train afterwards, I would have been having to rebuild the train station to get everything up to the correct height. So at least now I know I can just build that up straight away. And it's not going to be too much of a problem. All I do is add some steps up and make it that much higher. One problem I am having though is this wall here. It's way too close to the actual train itself. Now at the moment there is a 1 stud gap between here, but when the train comes around the corner it actually hits the wall just here. So I do need to move that wall over by 2 studs. Now as you can see, there is a 1 stud gap between these 2 arches here, and there's the same there. So what I need to do now is just peel off a row of tiles, peel this wall off, peel that pillar off, and then move it all across, and then I can move that bench as well. So let's make those changes now, and then we'll be able to make sure the train goes around the corner without hitting the wall. Problem solved, and as you can see now, there's plenty of room there. The wheels are below the wall section just on there, so that's all fine. The carriage goes over the top of it. All I need to do is tile over the top of it, lose the multicoloured filler plate, and then that'll be job done. But yeah, as I said, really happy that we discovered this problem at this stage rather than once we built so much more of the train station up. Anyway, that's all we got time for. Hope you've enjoyed this update. If you have, please remember to give us a big thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content on the channel. Anyway, if you know anybody else you think would be interested in building Gotham or building Mandalore, please share the channel with them. Anyway, thanks for popping on by, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.